Àjò lè dùn kó dàbí ilé làbọ̀ sí mi oko.
Awilo Longomba. Gama.
This one goes to all my fellow Africans living far away
Far away.
and away from their hometowns. My home.
Good evening. Welcome to another session of Global Culture. My name is Kinwale Ojomo. I'm actually sitting in for Cindy, who is away in New York for a coverage. I welcome you again to Global Culture, which is actually focused on sharing information about diversity for the immigrants in the area, in the city of Bowie, Maryland, and even in the United States, even around the world. Because we believe there has been a lot of migration in and out of the United States. So we thought global culture is to focus and share the different culture and see our similarities and differences. For today, I'm welcoming a special guest to share with you some very, very interesting experience he has, as well as his experience right here, what he has learned in the United States, and how he's taking that back to his home country. At this time, I'm going to welcome Professor Mobolaji Aluko. He is the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology in Otueke, Nigeria, West Africa. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you very much, Akin, for inviting me here. I seem to be a double immigrant here. I'm an immigrant from Nigeria and I'm also an immigrant from Montgomery County.
Oh, okay.
So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Just for our viewers, of course, Montgomery County and Prince George's County, they are actually a sister county in the United States of America, since our program is worldwide. So I'm going to go straight to business.
Sure.
Tell us your name, actually more about yourself, and what you want the viewers at home to know.
Sure. Well, my name is Mobolaji Aluko. I'm a professor of chemical engineering at Howard University. I've been in the United States since 1978, December 31 to be exact.
Okay.
I've lived in California, New York before I came to Howard University to start teaching in 1984.
Okay.
Done sabbatical stints at Seattle, University of Washington in Seattle, and also in University of Maryland, College Park. But I'm sure the exact reason why I'm here is because recently I was appointed the Vice Chancellor of a new federal university in Nigeria.
Oh, congratulations.
Which is equivalent to the president of a university here.
Oh, thank you very much. And it's nice that you mentioned that. Actually, that's the major reason why you are here.
Sure.
And before we go on to more details, we'd like to ask you, how has your experience in the United States been in terms of, of course, you've been able to teach, you have a family. Share with us, for the immigrants at home and the people trying to understand how culture affects your environment. Please let us know more about that.
Well, I mean, I came here, as I said, in 1978.
Wow.
When I was 23 years old, single.
Okay.
Now I have 5 children.
Wow.
I've lived again, as I said, in California, Santa Barbara to be exact, New York, Buffalo.
Okay.
Worked in District of Columbia, and I lived in Silver Spring / Buttonsville all of my life. It's been a wonderful experience. One of the things is that the United States, it's a country of opportunities. Once you seize the opportunities and you have your head screwed on right, and you don't go wrong paths, certainly you'll make it. I've not had serious experiences of racism. I've not had serious experiences of violence, which are some of the things that people worry about. Racism and violence. I mean, those are, when you come into the United States, those are things that you constantly worry about. Despite the fact that people also know it's a land of opportunity, that the sky is the limit for you. But those two aspects are always things that are in the minds of immigrants. At the same time, too, you see a lot of opportunity, and yet it also contrasts with the needs you see of your country. And there's hardly any immigrant who just completely forgets his country. So while you enjoy a lot in the country, you still try to remember the country you come from. And I always say that almost it's an affliction to be a Nigerian, because you meet two Nigerians talking here, they're always talking about Nigeria.
Okay, it's interesting that you mentioned that about your duration right here, and I want to be more specific in terms of what have you, done either on an individual basis to, reach out back to your home country.
How I'm sure you just want to draw it out of me, but I've worked a lot in the Nigerian community and in the Black American community too, as well as the Howard University, for example, is a historically black college. So in teaching at Howard itself, I've been able to interact a lot with the intelligentsia, black intelligentsia, with students from all around the world. So that's one aspect of my life. The other issue is working in the Nigerian community. Various layers of them, educational, social, political. For quite some time, I was president of the Nigerian Democratic Movement. During the time when the military rule was in Nigeria, we were at some of us were at the forefront of fighting against it. And and I've worked in the Nigerian community, in my own ethnic group community, in my own state community, to make sure that those of us who are educated, who also know how this country ticks. So, because I will tell you that there are many immigrants who come, sorry, and don't really know how the country ticks. You really have to study the system and say what makes this country tick, so that if you need to impact elsewhere, you can convey those good things and eliminate those bad things in the society that work against the country.
Thank you very much. I'm going to be more specific now in terms of how is it to raise children right here, because it's pretty cool. You say you came in here when you were single, so obviously very
well, my first two children were born in California when I was still a graduate student, and then the last three were born in the Washington D.C. area. And they've all, I mean, as I mentioned, I've lived in Montgomery County all my life. That's one of the very best educational, primary and secondary educational system that you can have. It's always ranked very high.
Specifically, how has it been to raise kids?
Well, no, I mean, the first, one of the things is that, I mean, my wife is a Nigerian. That does not mean you cannot raise good kids if you're not, but it does help a little bit to ensure that both of you share the same culture, the same values in raising up children. That's number one. So the important thing is that the two parents must have a shared culture, or a shared values, really, not necessarily culture, but shared values as to how the children should be raised. The second thing is to let the children know that they have a legacy, that the fact that some children are behaving a certain way outside does not mean they must behave that way. You are the one, they are your children. You are their parents. They must understand that what other parents are teaching their own children may be fine for them. But what since we pay for you, you live in our house, you bear our name, at least for a while, you have to follow our values. But at the same time, that also means that you yourself should exemplarize that value, those set of values. You cannot behave in a certain way at home and then expect your children to behave in another way. So that's very important. We've had all of our children have thrived. And they've all gone to almost the same primary school.
Oh wow!
Same middle school, the same high school. And because we've lived in the same area since 1993.
Wow.
So they've all had the same experiences. My first child is a lawyer. Second one just finished his master's at the University of Texas. Third one is in doing her MPH